called Bikelash. It's all about lanes, lines and lycra, the opposition to cycleway projects. They're being used nearly 63,000 times each week. The issue?
Yeah, Bikelash is where people seem to get very angry about when they see infrastructure and cycleways and spending on cycle infrastructure generally.
With government's first emissions reduction plan released last month, this ongoing debate comes at the right time.
They see somebody in their way, they see some bit of infrastructure being taken away from them. We hear about road rage, and it's just an extension of that in many ways.
But do residents actually find cyclists annoying?
Yes.
Yes.
They are annoying.
If they are not cycling in the cycle lane when there is a cycle lane.
I think sometimes some people are like 2 people wide. I'm like, go single file.
Research all around the world tells us that about 60 to 70% of people actually quite like the idea of being able to cycle. But what it means is there's 30% who are never going to. And it tends to be those 30% will be the ones they complain.
Christchurch's major cycle network, planned by the Christchurch City Council, is going to cost around $350 million over a 15-year period, and is being funded by central government, council and waka Otautahi. But some think we're overspending.
The way they're getting designed is over the top. It's far more expensive to do what they're doing now than what we used to do years ago. And keep it simple. It's the best way to explain it.
Council agreed last week to develop a new cycleway on Antigua Street. The multi-million-dollar development is taking place just outside the soon-to-be-opened Parakiore Sports Centre.
It's $3.7 million for one block, for 400 metres. They're ripping up the curb, the road, the footpaths and building a new cycleway in that space.
This road is used by nearly 1,500 cyclists each day, and once development is complete, it'll be connected to Quarryman's Trail, one of the busiest cycleways in the city. Although being expensive to some, Kingham thinks it has to be done.
Sometimes you can have a really long corridor and there's one difficult bit to fix. And you need to fix it. We've barely spent 1% of our budget on cycleways. It's now up maybe around 3%, so it's actually not expensive.
And it isn't just about the price tag.
Everything I've talked to from anyone that I know, they are just angry about the cycle lanes with the big it's mainly the big concrete curbing and the parking that's been taken up for businesses.
For one resident, it's all happening at his doorstep.
Well, you'll see a bakery behind us. At the moment it's relatively quiet, but parking generally is 100 metres either side of our bakery on the roadway. That's no longer going to be in existence. Unfortunately, you throw a few words like safety and that out there and suddenly you've got the ear of some councillors in particular.
Council staff say they design cycle paths to the national standards and ensure they are a safe and effective facility. They go through a public submissions process, but emphasise it's not always possible to accommodate everyone's views. And biking organisation Spokes Canterbury are in full support.
We think they've got the right idea, they've got a program. It's not easy to retrofit safe cycling infrastructure onto roads that have never been designed for it.
Although Kingham thinks Bikelash will be here to stay.
Even where there's lots of people cycling, there are still some people who get very angry about it. We have to create the infrastructure and we have to make it safe for people. So what I'd like to see is more people having a choice to cycle safely to get to the destinations they want to go to.
While these individuals push for safer roads, it looks like we won't be putting the brakes on this debate anytime soon. Cameron Joe, Metro News.